Is Swift trying to squeeze Binance and other exchanges? Next. That article about Porsche NFTs we're going to go over today, and OG Crypto and NFTs. Welcome everyone. My name is Troy, and every day we go over digital assets as well as non-fungible tokens or NFTs. Now, before we jump into it, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Boom, 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 boom. Oops, use my other arm. All right, let's get into it. This happened over the weekend, and on our Twitter social media, as well as a couple other social medias, we reported this. So Swift came out and they said that Signature Bank, which they do quite a lot of business through, was going to limit transactions. Now, transactions that had to do with crypto and crypto related companies. Now, we know that Signature has been part of all the nonsense going on, and they're getting burned right now. I know a couple of people that have been shorting Signature Bank. So what did Signature Bank do with the blessing of Swift? Is that they wanted to make sure that by February 1st, that any transaction that was going in and out of, now let me repeat that again, in and out of an exchange had to be at least $100,000. Now, Binance is the biggest person getting hurt on this. They immediately came out on Sunday afternoon and said, hey, we're going to figure this out because we're going to circumvent Swift. I think Swift has been used as a weapon. I think Swift is eroding very quickly, and they know that that's happening, and they're trying to stay within. They're trying to stay relevant right now, but they are absolutely manipulated by the federal government. The federal government told them, hey, don't do, when the Ukraine war began, don't do any Russian transactions. Well, guess what Russia did? China immediately went over and said, we're doing transactions outside the US dollar. So what does this all have to do? What is it wrapped up to do? I think that Sam Bankman-Fried came in and he just made all those Democratic politicians look stupid. Gary Gensler just is a crook. He was a crook before. He even looks more like a crook. They all met with him. They all took his money, and now they want to attack Binance. And that's the way to do it. So limit the amount of transactions from the United States into Binance, and that's Binance's biggest customer. Now, Binance US is the one that deals with it. So anything dealt in USD or US dollars has to be $100,000 or more. Now, how do I get around it? Well, that's mostly doing wires and transfers. It's not doing ACH payments. I can get around it immediately. There's other different ways of getting around it. It's just going to make it a little harder, but they're wanting this intermediate bank to make it real hard. If I went to Wells, if I went to Chase, if I went to B of A, and if they're using Signature Bank as an intermediate bank to go between that and Binance or Kraken or other different exchanges, they want to limit it. It's just a way of trying to cut Binance off. And again, it has to do with the way Binance backhanded, FTX and Alameda, which actually was the only one that wasn't a crook. Tons of crooks that are sitting up in Washington, D.C. that just didn't care, and now all of a sudden blame crypto when they were taking crypto money left and right. All right, so enough on this, but February 1st, guys, make sure that you understand what your crypto exchange is. If you're pulling money, if you have stuff on the exchange, pull it off now. So now I'm gonna go into something a little different. I'm gonna keep this up. Guys, let's go figure out what the squeeze is right here. Everyone is getting out there and all these influencers are all getting pumped about the Bitcoin jump and all the altcoin jump. Think about this. If there's no coins on exchanges, how easily manipulated is this market? It's extremely manipulated. So what was the narrative the last 60 to 90 days? Get your money off exchanges. What happens? You have a Bitcoin whale come on, he spreads it out, he starts buying the little bit of Bitcoin that's on the exchanges, and he just drives the price. Then he gets influencers that tell you, oh, we're been at the bottom, we're going into a bull market, and then people FOMO in. It is the worst thing you could do. FOMO in. You're going to miss out. Fear of missing out. Whatever goes up, goes down. If you look at the charts, Bitcoin absolutely hit their head and now has gone above it. Why? There's no Bitcoin on exchanges. It's being all bought up. And so with that being said, it's just being manipulated to a point where they want retail to come in. And there's two things that can happen to retail. Number one, you short that effing shit out of it. The second February 1st comes when you all of a sudden see people go, whoa, I want to trade. I'm going to send money onto the exchange. Oh, can't do it. Oh, I want to pull my crypto off. Oops, can't do it. So some people are going to run into that and they're going to panic. That's when they're going to start selling off. In my mind, the first week of February, you're going to see this drop. And they're all going to short you all the way down, making money on the way up and making money on the way down. They're going to swing trade it against retail. It completely makes sense. Don't be a sucker, okay? Make sure you have conviction. If you're a hodler, then pull your money off right now and put it into a cold storage. Be happy with it. If you're not a hodler, if you're a day trader, keep in mind that these are the issues. These are the macro bullshit manipulation that's out there. And don't put it past some of these major banks that are doing it themselves because they're holding Bitcoin. And that's what starts the whole thing. Then, of course, you pay influencers to go ahead and shill the crap out of the market, but you don't pay them in cash. You give them coins here and there in their private little off the side wallets that no one hears about, so they don't get in trouble. And that's what happens. Pure manipulation. Next. All right. So a year ago, XRPL had really no building on it. There was all talks about XRP, what's happening, everything focused around the lawsuit with the SEC. Every bit of it came out, but today that's all changed with XLS 200 came out. They've allowed now NFTs on it, but now the building has begun. There's been several different companies that are building on top of it, and it keeps going on and on and on. Here's Sologenics that came out about a year ago. They did a little less than a year ago. They did an airdrop on it. Now we just saw Flare do an airdrop on the XRPL. We're also seeing XRP HealthNet. We see XRP PayNet. We're seeing XRP Ledger, people building on it like crazy. NFTs, and the whole NFT market has kind of blown up. The DEX is on there. We're seeing things just continue to grow. This is not just a payment, a cross-border payment, a coin. It is turned into a whole ecosystem. Now, why are you hearing this out from other influencers? Well, because Ripple doesn't pay them. But I'm guaranteeing you, when I'm listening to Rand Neuter, and he's saying that he's on the board of Phantom, and Phantom just doubled. He's talking about FTM coin. There's no question about it. Or Luna, which he did forever. He talked about it. Or any of these other coins that he shills all day. Solana. Come on. You're all getting some type of compensation. That's why you shill it. It doubles, and you just let retail pump it, and then you let all your VCs dump on it like crazy. Next, let's get into NFTs. Let's join us. Emi, how you doing?
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. So we saw that NFT sales volume has risen for consecutive months. Mm-hmm. I know the excitement's there. A lot of different projects have come out, and this is, I think, what the excitement's about. I think the Bored Apes actually brought this in.
I think it absolutely helped. Yeah, it absolutely helped. Yeah, for sure. I agree.
So the whole, Jimmy, the
monkey,
mm-hmm. And them giving out another free drop to, holders of Bored Apes and Mutants. I think this made a big, big splash, got things rolling again out there. Mm-hmm. Now, we just saw the Doodles are coming out, Doodles 2.
Yep.
So they want to take advantage of it. of the NFT pump. I saw that gas today again was at $10. Guys, get off of Ethereum. It is garbage.
Yeah.
It is a garbage NFT. I mean, it was the first. And again, everyone's, it's the first, it's the first. Who cares if it's the first? No, you're going to not sell as much on your platform or all your NFT community because of gas fees unless someone's dumb enough to buy. The majority of NFTs that are moving are under 0.1 Ethereum, which is about $160. The majority of them are moving there. So when you're looking at stuff at, anywhere from $15, $20, $30, $40 and you're paying $10 gas fees, doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Sure. Yeah, I agree with you. I believe the Bored Apes definitely helped this, and I think us seeing the doodles transfer to a completely different blockchain,
right,
their sales. I think it'll be interesting to see if other larger projects follow suit. But for now, I'm happy to see that the volume overall is up.
Right. Well, we also saw that on a smaller blockchain that is more utility driven is Casper Labs. And over the last 7 days, they minted 25 million NFTs.
Wow.
Okay. We're not talking animal pictures. We're talking utility patent. And what makes Casper so much better than everything else, every other NFT chain, is that they have, you can change the NFT.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that. I think this is going to be really cool, and it'll definitely get more people who are not paying attention to NFTs and digital assets. I think it'll kind of take their gaze a little bit, just because it's a little more impressive, if you will. Right.
So the white papers can be adjusted, as well as you can change the NFTs yourself, the owners of them. So we've already seen this happen. This is basically Ethereum 3.0. They're already Ethereum 3.0. Gas fees are pennies on the dollar. Now, why haven't a lot of people heard of Casper Labs? Well, it's because the influencers aren't getting paid. Guys, it's always that way. If you're out there listening to influencers, they're pushing their narratives, and their narratives is what their bags are. Casper Labs is a very small L1. They don't use the Ethereum virtual network. They have their own, and they are up and coming. But guess where they were at?
Where?
The last week.
Davos?
They're at Davos.
Interesting.
Now, I'll go one step about Davos. Do you know Davos is invite only?
Yeah.
And the amount of companies, crypto companies that were invited, were down 70%. They are now focusing on utility. So the most richest people in the world aren't looking at animal pictures.
Yeah.
They're not looking at Solana. Come on, really?
Yeah.
That's a joke. They're looking at utility, and utility rock and rolls.
Utility is king. Moving forward, it's just so obvious that, it's what's going to help adoption. It's already rolling down the hill, but as utility grows and the layman starts understanding what the power is and what these things actually do, it's just going to be insane.
And that's where adoption really takes. People look at NFTs as a scam. Why? Because there's no utilization in their life.
In their mind,
Or in their life, right? So if everyone had to have a wallet with their driver's license as an NFT in it, right now, hardly anyone would be talking about scams. In fact, nobody would be talking about scams, and the adoption would be just explosive. But if you make animal pictures, it's garbage, and that's how they're relating to NFTs. The real use of NFTs are now starting to surface, and this is why the Ethereums of the world that are not built, their NFTs are not utility driven. Solana, what a terrible chain. Not financial advice. I would never do anything with Solana.
And I think this topic really carries over into our next our next story here. Can you read the headline for them, please?
How Porsche NFT drop crashed and burned.
Okay.
It's funny. Let me go over this 1 second.
Okay, yeah.
So OpenSea has it on there, and one of their highlighted NFTs is Porsche.
That's funny. I'm sure that was some sort of ad placement payment that got it on the front page there. But yeah, so I think this really goes right into the point that we're trying to drive home here is this was essentially an NFT membership club. There was very little utility to it, and voila, it did not do good. So I think this just drives that point home.
And as we continue to report on NFT collections, they're doing less and less good, are they? You start seeing, people be more disappointed.
I think it's mainly having to do with these big conglomerates that are just trying to jump into Web3, not really understanding how to speak to their audience correctly, right? So if this brand is simply speaking to its audience of like, this is a NFT membership club, you kind of get some stuff, they're just like, cool, whatever, why do I care? So I can absolutely see how if you're a brand that's trying to jump into Web3 and use these digital assets, you have to know your audience and have to know how to make it like applicable to them.
So what I feel is that when they're hearing about Web3, immediately that's very easy to buy a lot or plot in Decentraland or in Sandbox, right? And so you then hire a developer that has some kind of experience, and you have them start building out what your brand is in that metaverse, right? But then when it comes to NFTs, it just seems easy. A lot of people can mint them really well. But the issue is how you market and how you get that out there to your community. And that's where the bigger issue is. The crash and burn is that moment. It's if you don't launch it properly and you don't have control of it, your white paper is off, people go in there and look at your flaws, that's where crash and burn happens. Because a developer is handling how you're building or how you're building in Web3. Here, you're absolutely touching people like me or you that are looking in the outside in and seeing animal pictures are easy to trade, or when they launch, there's people that have more experience versus these are bigger brands that have premeditated reputations. Gotta launch.
You gotta launch right. I don't know. I feel like the Porsche NFT drop, they tried their best. It was on a lot of different news sites. I feel like maybe some Porsche owners actually heard about this. But what does it do for them?
Yeah. Go ahead and read the line below it.
Collectors called the expensive NFT mint clueless, but the sports car brand went ahead anyway, yielding a Web3 wreck in progress. And here is a picture of a car on fire.
Yep. It's actually a Porsche. Supposedly.
I don't know. That doesn't look like a Porsche to me. Yeah, it just says car on fire.
That's a car on fire.
Shutterstock image.
Well, guys, again, what did you do? 7,500 of these on Ethereum, right? What a joke, right? What a joke. If you want to pick one up under mint price, go to OpenSea.
Run fast, yeah.
Well, guys, thank you very much for joining us today. We definitely appreciate it. Hopefully, we will see you guys tomorrow. What do you think, Emi?
We'll see them tomorrow.
We'll see them tomorrow. Absolutely. Right. Come back, check us out. Otherwise, go and check out our other medias, social medias, Instagram and TikTok. We will be posting on those pretty much every day.
Yeah, the TikTok is popping. I'm just gonna say that the TikTok it's going.
You guys, thank you very much, guys.
Bye.